Hello, folks. How are you? But I tell you something, if you could see what was going on behind the scenes, it's unbelievable. Honest to God, organised chaos wouldn't be in it. I hope I'm connected all right. There's a big delay on Facebook tonight. Big delay because I'm looking at the screen here and it's unbelievable. There's a massive display, I was going to say. Oh, Facebook is actually just showing my face now. Would you believe it? So that'll give you an idea of the delay. So I'm going to do YouTube first tonight. Our AJ is over there. Hi, AJ, dear. And also Killian's over there as well. So nice to see you. There will be a few more coming in. I know that because I was made aware that there's some new people. But I tell you, it's organised chaos. Do you know what happened before I do the roll call in the Chatterhouse? I fell asleep. I had a wee snooze, and it's the worst bloody thing I ever did because I feel like shit in the stick. I don't even know what day of the week it is or anything. So, as I say, you're going to have to bear with me here because there's a big delay on Facebook here. I can see it. And do you know something? It doesn't bloody surprise me. Right, let's see who's in the Chatterhouse so far. Don't forget, you must comment for me to say hello. You must comment for me to say hello. And then I'll be telling you all what's going to happen. There's a lot going on tonight, folks, so here we go. Let's see who's straight in there now. Straight through the door was our Jackie McFarland. Hello, Jackie. If I do miss anybody, by the way, please repeat yourself in case I've missed somebody. So, Jackie McFarland, hello, good evening. And if one day she become a singer with a Spanish bum, hey, sing for women of great fortune. There's more people watching on YouTube. It's commenting. Sam Davison is in. Hello, Stuart from our Phyllis. Hello, Samuel. Sam saying hello to everybody. Our Charlie is in. Hello, Charlie. Nice to see you. Jackie saying hello to me. Charlie saying hello to Sam. Matthew McKinley's in. Our Matt McKinley's in. So he is. Who else is in here, dear? Sam saying hello to Charlie. Jackie saying hi to Sam. And Sam saying hello, Jackie. Michael's in. Hello, Michael. Evening. Michael says, wow, like the video while you're young, dear. Oh, no. Don't even go there. Now, there's a few people missing, which I'm actually surprised at. Strange. Because I know they were coming in. Sam said hello to Matt. Where's Miss Chatterhouse today? She's not like heard of us. She's fell asleep. Right, folks. So tonight we are going on our part 3 of our virtual coach trip. Yes. And also, here she comes. She's just come in. I was awful worried about her. She's just come in. There she said, I'm Michelle McGrogan, Miss Chatterhouse. She said, Michelle, I was worried about you. I didn't know where you were. Is that likey? Right. So we're going on. Thank you very much, Jackie. Carrie Ferguson's just come in as well. Hello, I'm late. Late to the party, but I'm here. It's all right, Carrie. We haven't started yet. Anybody who's just joining, once again, there's a big delay on Facebook tonight because I can actually see it whilst I'm here. It's unbelievable. Right, so we're doing our virtual coach trip, right? And then at the end of the night, we are going to be drawing our lucky square game tonight. Yes. Michelle McGrogan's filling the coach with fuel. Yes. So we'll be I can't even speak tonight. Do you know that? We will be drawing our lucky square game at the end of the night. And we have a new feature to do it. I'm all excited about it. Let's just hope it friggin' works. Okay, Catherine Playfair has just entered. She hasn't commented. I heard Lillian was paying. You never know. Right, so picture this. Picture this. We've got the coach. Catherine says, good evening, everyone. We've got the coach. And it's a special coach. It's a big pink coach we've got. I don't know where I got that from. So we've got a big pink coach. Our Michelle McGrogan, a.k.a. Hilda. I haven't got my light on. I thought it looked dark. Is driving the coach. Lillian, Sam, and Phyllis have been around all the funerals, getting the sandwiches. And also as well, I hope you've all got your message to pack an overnight bag because we're not coming home tonight. We're staying overnight. So this is actually a condensed 2-day coach trip. The first time ever. But all will be revealed. Sam says Aunty Lillian and Phyllis were riding the funeral, stinging all the sandwiches. Sam was on the toilet. That would be right. That would be right. So, this gives people a chance to see parts of Northern Ireland. Oh, our Matt McGinley's forgot her toothbrush there. Matt, we'll stop at the Shamus. We'll get you. Once you work for Boots too, and you haven't got a bloody boot. You haven't got a toothbrush, but you know it's the opticians, but still Boots. Have to go away from the mic. He's just entered the building. And Tim for life. Tim, evening, sorry, it's all right, Tim, I haven't even started yet there, I'm too busy waffling. Wendy McKay's just entered, Matthew's laughing. Right, so, Ricky goes, wah! Right, now, as I say, this is a 2-day coach trip. Anybody just coming in, we are going to be drawing the lucky square game at the end to make you stay. Yes. Tip for life. Ready! Mini Diamond CBE has entered the building. I was ringing you the other day. You were joking me. Oh, Jesus. Oh, jeez, we've got two. We've got two in the night. Not only have we got Miss Mini Diamond CBE, drag extraordinaire to the world, but we also have a new member, our Fifi Versace, which I can hardly say, is in as well. So we have got two drag extraordinaires in tonight. You're very welcome, Fifi. Welcome to your first night. Just all the guests are in the night, dear. Look, he's so still, boy. Right. So, the idea of these coach trips, why are you shaking yourself for, sure? The idea of these coach trips is to let people see parts of Northern Ireland that they maybe haven't seen before, or maybe that they don't want to see. Now, if anybody remembers, can anybody remember where we went in the last coach trip? I think we went all over the place. We were all over the place and everywhere. But as I say, tonight's going to be a bit different because we're traveling. And we're not just on the coach, but we're traveling on something else as well. Right, so we're on the coach. Michelle McGrogan's got her gloves on, so she means business. She's like Vera out of Prisoner Cell Block H. She means business. And we've got Lillian, stole the sandwiches especially. Oh, we did the North Coast before, that's right. Well, we're going, I don't know what direction Carrie's going to add herself here because I think where we're going first, our Carrie Ferguson, my local historian, has been asking for this for a while. Right, so we're on the coach. Excuse me. We're on the coach. Lillian's at the back, talking to Tim for Life and Ricky. Well, I think that's what she's doing anyway. Carrie Ferguson's giving us a guided tour as we go down the road. Minnie Diamond and Fifi Versace are doing their makeup. Sam and Phyllis is opening a bottle of Scrumpy Jack cider. I don't like Scrumpy Jack cider, but anyway. And who else is there? David Thompson saying hi, David. Everybody else is just having a wee bit of a gag and looking out the window. And my mobility scooter's tied onto the back, getting trailed along. So we're on the motorway, folks. Stop and eat a wee. Here we go. There's a toilet on the bus, Sam. We've got a special toilet. Hang on. We have a special bus. There's a toilet on, especially for our Sam. Ricky says the wheels in the bus go round and round. Right, off we go. So Michelle's cranking up the gear stick and off we go. And we're heading down the motorway. And then we're heading on to the M2. We're on the M2. No, we're not going to... Wendy's got her carry out. Yes, sorry, Wendy. Didn't forget about you, love. Wendy's got her carry out. Minnie Diamond says, I hope there's a wee bar on board too. Our Minnie. Minnie, we've got our carry outs with us. Bring your own, love. Stick it in the 2-liter bottle. That's what you used to 2 years ago. Phoebe says, I'd be knocking the way. I have a lovely crowd with me today. Right, now. So off we go. I'm spitting and everything here. Onto the M2. We're on the motorway and we're going on to the M2. And we're entering the glory. Well, only if it's from a plastic bag. Do you remember? Bring the Prosecco. Just carry your being posh. Bring the Prosecco. I'd be bringing a 2-liter Coke bottle. This is what I used to do. 2-liter Coke bottle with vodka and Coke in it there. And knock it in the back of the bus there. Time you got there, you didn't know where you were. Well, anyway, plus 10 Carlsberg special. There's our Michelle Robinson through the door. Right. So we're entering, we're on the M2 and we're flying down. Well, Sam said, hang on. Tim says, is there a special toilet for Sam on the trailer behind the bus? No, Tim, there's actually a toilet on the bus. Manny says, hope I can have a wee fag, wee cigarette. Oh, we could stop and have one for you, Manny. Do you know something? It's great that everybody's using their imaginations. Right. Shake yourself, Stuart. Right. So we are entering the beautiful, glorious town. He's going to learn a wee bit of history and all the night now. We're entering the glorious town of Carrickfergus. Carrickfergus beside Belfast Lough. And our first port of call today is Carrickfergus Castle. Carrickfergus Castle. We see Carrickfergus. And what I'm going to do, hold on. I want to keep up with these. Tim says, many don't strike a match with Sam's the toilet. Right, so what we're going to do is we're stopping off at the cattle, Jesus Christ, the Milo Club. Oh boy, we're stopping off in, what? Ricky says, we'll have to go and see King Billy on his horse. Right, that's terrible. When the kid says, do you remember Joanne on the couch when the toilet door flew open? Yes, Wendy, I do. We were on a day trip to Scotland. A friend of ours was in the toilet. The door flew open. She's sitting in the toilet. Wendy, I forgot about that. Right, so here we go. Into Carrickfergus. Well, he's at the castle. That's right, Ricky, down at the pageant. Isn't that right? Right. So let's go to Carrickfergus, and I'm going to be watching with you. There's a wee video about Carrickfergus Castle, so you're going to learn something tonight. As if Stuart doesn't, well, you know, I was going to say, Stuart doesn't break up the bloody video. So what it was say, I'm going to go down here. I'll go down here. Oh, here. Look at that, it's not camp. Right, here we go. Carrickfergus Castle. I heard Billy's horse was called Belfast. We never know, dear. Here we go. I hope this is the right video. Hold on. I think it is. Is it, Stuart? Right, we'll hope for the best. Here we go.
Are you ready for another adventure? This time, I want to take you to Northern Ireland, in the UK, to Carrickfergus Castle. I mentioned this castle before when talking about Howth Castle, because Amalric, the first Lord of Howth, came to Ireland together with John de Courcy and Richard de Clare, better known as Strongbow. Now, you might remember Strongbow from the video about the Black Castle. If you missed either of these videos, I have put links to them here.
Strongbow? I thought that was a satyr.
Here and in the description. So, let's travel back in time and take a look at how John de Courcy built Carrickfergus Castle. Ireland had been in turmoil for a decade or so before our story begins, with local kings battling for control of Leinster, Meath in the position of High King of Ireland. Alliances had been made and broken, and one of them had been between the fallen King of Leinster, Dermot Mac Murchada, and Strongbow to get his kingdom back. This alliance had the blessing of King Henry II, who didn't want to be directly involved. Strongbow and de Lacy helped him win back Leinster, and as a reward, Strongbow married his daughter, Aoife. When Mac Murchada died, Strongbow became King of Leinster. Other English lords had also helped Mac Murchada, and for their efforts, they were rewarded with other settlements and lands. When word got back to King Henry II that the Earl of Pembroke, Strongbow, had become a king of a province in Ireland, he was furious. He had given permission for his citizens and lords to help Mac Murchada, not to take up titles. He issued a decree forbidding Strongbow from Ireland, cut off his supplies and set out for Ireland with a large army. Before he could attack, Strongbow intercepted him, offering apologies and begging for forgiveness. Strongbow became Lord of Leinster under the king. King Henry proceeded to divide the country, and Hugh de Lacy was awarded Meath for his loyalty. Strongbow died in 1176 and Leinster was now under King Henry II, which brings us to John de Courcy. In the same year that Amalric won the Howth Peninsula, 1177, John decided to head north, because he wanted to make himself a king. He wanted to defy the rule of King Henry II, and the lordship of Ireland by his son, Prince John, who showed little respect for Ireland and its kings. In a plot twist out of a good novel, John took 22 knights, and 300 foot soldiers, and set off up the country, traveling north at a pace of 30 miles per day. They skirted the back of the Mourne Mountains, and took the town of Doondoleithgla, now Downpatrick, by surprise. After two fierce battles, in February and June 1177, de Courcy defeated the last king of Ulaid, Dermot Mac Murchada. With that, the kingdom of Ulaid was gone. John, then, founded the town of Carrickfergus and began work on the elaborate castle at the mouth of the great sheltered Carrickfergus Bay, now called Belfast Lough. The location was ideal for trade with the north of Britain. It was an intimidating site, protecting the bay. The only reason John de Courcy was able to go so far was due to the apathy of the English king, Richard, the Lionheart, towards his Irish adventures. Richard was a French lord, and didn't much care for his English possessions, much less for Ireland. In 1199, however, Richard died and his brother, John, became king. Now, King John cared about Ireland quite a bit. He had been made Lord of Ireland in 1177, the same year that John de Courcy had set off to conquer Ulaid, and so in his head, it was his lands that de Courcy had usurped. Not only that, but he could not allow a man who had sworn loyalty to his father to set up his own kingdom right under his nose. So, as soon as he ascended the throne, King John commissioned the loyal Hugh de Lacy to bring de Courcy under control. However, this was no small task. De Courcy had had 22 years to build himself a powerful kingdom. For 5 years, Hugh de Lacy waged war on de Courcy at Carrickfergus Castle, with no success. The castle was well defended and its walls seemed to withstand any attack. However, in 1204, de Lacy received intelligence that changed everything. It so happened that de Courcy had a tradition. Every year, on Good Friday, he would sit in vigil Down Cathedral, in Downpatrick. De Lacy wasn't so religious, so he sent his men to capture de Courcy. De Courcy was barefoot and unarmed, so he grabbed the nearest object he could use as a weapon, a great wooden cross, with which he managed to kill 13 of the men, before being overpowered.
I must admit, folks, some of these photographs, I know we're getting a history lesson here, but some of these images are absolutely stunning. They really, really are. Listen to me, stunning.
According to the Book of Howth. He was then expelled from Ireland. In 1205, King John made Hugh de Lacy Earl of Ulster, granting him all the land de Courcy had ruled. John de Courcy had married Princess Africa, daughter of Godred Olafson, King of Man. After his expulsion from Ireland, they returned to her family home. In 1205, John led an army on 100 boats, supplied by his brother-in-law, Ragnald, King of Man, from the island, across the Irish Sea to try to recapture his kingdom. They laid siege to the castle, but lost, for the defenses he himself had built were too strong. The castle's defenses were reinforced with the arrival of Walter de Lacy, Hugh's older brother, and his forces. This was de Courcy's downfall and he never recovered his Irish lands. He was once again captured, and for this attack, King John threw him in prison for the rest of his life, where he lived in poverty. Eventually, he was released to go on a pilgrimage to Jerusalem. When he returned, he died in obscurity near present-day Craigavon. Meanwhile, when Hugh de Lacy was made Earl of Ulster by King John, it had been on the condition that he surrender Carrickfergus to the crown, which he, at first, refused. The king brought his army across from the mainland and laid siege to the castle, and eventually de Lacy surrendered it to the crown. That was the last time Carrickfergus had a lord, and for the next 700 years, Carrickfergus Castle would remain a military installation. The name, Carrickfergus, comes from the Irish, cairn, that means a construction of stone, and fergus, meaning strong man. It is now over 800 years old, built in the Norman style. This castle is extremely well preserved and considered one of the finest examples of medieval castles in Ireland. The cannons, for example, date back to the 17th and 19th centuries. You can visit the castle and its modern visitor centre, rich with history and artifacts. You can walk the grounds and see the statue of Africa, John de Courcy's late wife, sitting on the wall above the inner garden, looking over the waters towards her home on the Isle of Man.
I was Lillian sitting there.
Visitors spend time on the walls and battlements admiring the views. I would imagine that for the soldiers guarding the castle, the views would not have been as pleasant, especially when the castle was under siege. Many of the rooms have been restored or preserved. You can tour the lower levels to the kitchen and servants' dining hall, or tour the grand banquet hall where de Courcy himself would have hosted his dinners. Ultimately, you can climb to the grand hall on the upper level with a beautiful view of Belfast Lough. The castle is well worth exploring in all its glory. John de Courcy is a legend in his own right. Between his arrival at Downpatrick in 1177 and his expulsion in 1204, de Courcy left a legacy that has lasted more than 800 years. In the 3 decades he was in Downpatrick, he and his wife, Africa, built Inch Abbey for the Cistercians, Black Abbey for the Benedictines, St. Nicholas Church, and Woodburn Abbey. He helped to perpetuate the legend of St. Patrick in Ireland, and built the great fortresses of Dundrum Castle, then known as Rath, and Carrickfergus Castle. He defied kings and defeated rulers, but ultimately died poor, defeated, disgraced and alone. Have you visited Carrickfergus Castle? Tell me down in the comments of your experience and impressions of this amazing landmark. Do you think John de Courcy should have been allowed to rule Ulster, or did he deserve to go to prison? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, please let me know by clicking
They are. She's all got a wee bit of a history lesson. Our Wendy McKay loved it by the looks of things. Do you know, if this is what it's all about, it's for people to see and to learn things that maybe they didn't know. So it mightn't be everybody's taste, but we'll get round it all. Show's not over yet. Kai Ferguson's given us a lesson here. Inch Abbey, I love it there too. It was used for the Game of Thrones film location. Rob Starks. Our Will Millen's arrived. Bulldozer flattened the place. Will says, lovely. You're all so positive tonight. It's unbelievable. Right, the show's not over yet. So we're going to leave Carrickfergus Castle. We're back in the bus again. Our Will has caught up with us. He was late. He got a taxi. And now we are going actually into Carrickfergus itself. Will and Wendy will be happy. So here's our Carrickfergus. Hang on. Okay. Let's just get me back up here again. So that was a wee brief look at Carrickfergus. So it was. Right. Killian says about the last video, he says, I would love to walk through there. The videos don't seem to do it justice. Right. Sam says, me and Phyllis are enjoying strawberry and clotted cream ice cream. Carrick says, we can pop you in the old stocks and pick you up on the way back round, or we'll meet you in McDonald's if you promise not to grab me a small chip. Right, so off we go again. We're back in the bus. Michelle's cranking it up. Cranking up with Michelle, dear. Will says back again, I'm going to be a land tomorrow night in North Belfast. Lovely. whatever turned you on, Will. Right. So we're heading further on down. March on down the line. And we're now getting into Larne. I take this some strange places tonight, let me tell you. So we're now going to see, is there anything Larne has to offer? I hope I've got the right video here.
Good morning! Today we're exploring around Larne and starting with Glennoe Waterfall. This isn't actually Glennoe Waterfall. This is like a small bit at the top of Glennoe Waterfall. The main Glennoe Waterfall is that one.
Now, for all the moans and groans in there that's going, no, 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 oh, no, not Lauren. Look at that. That's absolutely stunning.
If you're feeling particularly brave, you can come up here and take a little dip in this pool. It's pretty cold. Definitely spent too much time beside the side of running water because now I need to go to the toilet. I'm quite hungry, so we're going to head down to Larne and get something to eat.
Push me, Bray.
When you think about Larne, often you think about the docks and the power station, but actually there's some really interesting things in Larne, like this. The Chain Memorial Tower, which was built in memory of James Chain, who's the guy who pretty much founded Larne. He established the sea routes over to Scotland and the port, and so they built this tower in memory of. Hello?
You're not getting in.
James isn't in today, and that's because he died in 1885. But I know where he's buried. This mound here is where James Chain is buried. The sign over there says he was buried upright wearing his yachting gear, but earlier in town a local said he was buried upside down on a horse.
What?
Not sure which is stranger. Larne's public park is actually really nice. We've got this big green area, there's a bandstand, there's an adventure playground, there's a tennis court, there's an outdoor gym. Let me go play some tennis. You ready to go and play tennis?
Yes.
Did you bring any tennis bats? We're not playing tennis. Just found a tennis ball. Ah, something has been chewing us. At the very end of the public park, there's this little secluded garden, and apparently there's a fossil of some ancient creature at the bottom. In 1999, they found the skeleton of a marine dinosaur here, and apparently this entire area is full of fossils. Not that we found any. All I found so far has been limpets and seaweed. Probably don't know what we're looking for, but here's hoping for a T-Rex. So I found a little indentation in the rock. I'm gonna say it's the hoof of a dinosaur.
Carnfunnock Park.
Done with Larne Public Park, and now we're down here at Carnfunnock Country Park, which at one point was voted Northern Ireland's best attraction for families, but there's still stuff to do here even if you're not 5 years old. This entire garden is filled with sundials. It's currently 2:30, so I'm going to go and see if any of them are actually accurate. Oh, this one is 2:30. Oh, this one's off. Thinks it's 1:30. This one here is quite cool because you become the hour hand. So there's slabs for different months of the year. So if I stand on July, that's pretty cool. I don't have any more time for the time garden, and I want to see something that's a lot more amazing. So let's go and be amazed. It's a maze. Let's see who can find their way to the middle of the maze first. Oh, I may have went in the wrong entrance, but never actually found the middle. I give up. Oh. Hello. Look at this guy. It's a little bit creepy. Well, 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 well.
ice house up here, like a house made of ice. Yes! This is not what I was hoping for, especially on a hot day like this. This is not a house. It's also not made of ice, nor does it contain any ice. If you get all the way up here, you're now at the back of Carnfanic, and we're now at the entrance to Chains Wood. And if you go right all the way through the forest, you'll actually eventually come out in Ballygally. There's these little bits off the side. We go down steps right down in through the trees. The plan now is to drive on round to Ballygally, have a barbecue, then get the kayak, go out in the sea. Ballygally has a beach, shop that sells ice cream, and a castle. So pretty much.
There you are, Phyllis and Sam. There's a shop that sells ice cream. I know some of you are moaning and groaning there, and yes, I do agree, certain parts or whatever, but this actually looks really, really nice.
Everything you would need. We're out in the kayak near Ballygally, just exploring around the edges. I've never actually been around here in the kayak before. It's just bliss. I've got salty water in my eye though, which isn't bliss. It's quite sore. We find a huge jellyfish, look.
Look at that jellyfish. Oh my god.
The sea around here is absolutely swarming with jellyfish. I'm less keen to jump in the water now. It's lovely and warm. I don't know how I'm gonna get back in again though. I'm too short. I just found a crab. He's not one bit happy. Get back here.
I'm saying now.
The waterfalls, browns, memorial towers, promenades, fossils, parks, graves, forests, more parks, the sea, jellyfish, a beach. That's how we managed to kill 12 hours exploring the areas around Larne.
Hold on. So there you go, folks. That was Lauren. And by the way, that video came from Me Adventures on YouTube. That fella makes all those videos himself. He makes all those videos himself. And you know something? He does a good job. So if you want to check out his YouTube channel, whatchamacallit, have a wee juke. But we're going to have to get our Wendy and our Will out of here, because Will says if he gets stung by the jellyfish, he's going to have to pee on him. Lovely. And our Wendy, she's been a joy to be with. She's sitting, get her our bloody bottle of bloody old English cider, for God's sake. Will says he's easy in the eye too. Will you take you nowhere? Tim said, by the way, Tim says, well. Right, Tim for life. It's time to scare you. Right, folks, back in the coach. Jackie McFarlane says, brilliant video. Tim, we're going to scare you now. So back in the coach, everybody. Get that Wendy one on. Get him out cider and her cheer up. Where is Tim? He's over on YouTube. Well, he doesn't have Facebook. That's why I do it in both. Right. So, are you stripping, Stuart? No, Tim, I'm not. It's even worse. Right, folks, because we're now going to the port. Yeah. We're not getting all excited. I'm not going anywhere. We're now going to the port of Larne, and we're all getting on the ferry. I said ferry, not ferry. We're getting on the Larne to Carnryan ferry. We are. So Will says, wait on me, hold the bus. Wait on our Will, he's doing a quick pee. So we're getting on the ferry, and we're... No, Carrie, we're going to Larne, Carnryan. We're going to Scotland. We're going to Scotland, our Carrie. Going to Scotland. And off we go. Oh no, Scotland! Me and Wendy is first on. So, where is it? Let's go on the boat to Scotland. There's no saying. Hang on. That was the quickest boat trip I've ever had in my life. I just threw that in. Hang on. Carrie says we're going over to pick Johnny on. Michelle says I'm stopping in with my wee daughter. She's in the Highlands. Or Michelle's going to the Highlands. Right, so what we're going to do is, Carrie says beans on toast. Tim, Carrie says beans on toast all round. Tim will be grand. Tim says, but will you find me? Because nobody knows nothing about you. Only joking you. Will Millen. Will Millen is in the bar with Wendy. So we have arrived. Wow. Find a Hellion coup for me. What the hell's a Hellion coup? Sure hasn't a clue. Not for Sam. By the way, Lillian's poking her ring up in the toilet. She can't do she can't do coaches. She can't do boats. She had to take a quail. Wendy says, get them in, Will. I went and love that. Right. You know, Wendy was in the boat before, but that's another story. Right. So we're heading now. We're back in the coach because our Michelle was very brave. Our Michelle was very brave. She brought the coach onto the boat. Tim says that tell Carrie it's windy enough in Scotland without beans and toast. Well, imagine our Tim. Will says a hanging cow. Right, lovely. Right. So we're actually going to be heading to our hotel to get a wee bit of an overnight rest. And this hotel, I can't remember the name of it. I think it's called, we're heading to Ayr, by the way. We're going to Ayr. We're going, well, I have the carry out. Well, that's all right, Arwell. So we're heading to Ayr. We're heading to Ayr. Yes, we're going to Ayr. And we're going to be staying in this hotel. I think it's called the Fairfields Hotel. Now, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to show you a video of the hotel, and it looks absolutely stunning. This woman talks in the background, and you can't hear her. I think she's a wee bit Indian. Right? I'm not being offensive or anything, or racism or anything, no. But you can't hear. But just look at the photographs of this hotel. I think it's called, we'll say, let's have a joke. Right? Let's have a joke.
Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. And now
Fairfield House Hotel.
in this video we try to explain all the details about this property like landmark,
Look at that.
price, amenities of the property and room category and facilities also. As you can see on the screen, hotel location here is
Oh, Tim says he knows it well.
you can find lots of
Anyway, folks, just ignore her waffling in the background. She can't hear it. That bathroom. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous?
Which is the very good.
There you are, Sam. There you are, Sam. There's a nice toilet for you, love. Look at that beautiful bathroom, Sam. You'd have a big day in there. You'd spend over the whole night in there. Wendy got hit the mini bar. Will says, "Do you know something? This looks absolutely stunning." Maybe our Tim will question him in a minute. Doesn't it look? This look lovely. You know what all the hell is this shit? Look at that.
You can see on the screen details like websites, website, amenities, facilities, and images, etc. Room category second. Room category third.
There's the toilet again.
Room category fourth.
Look at that. It's not gorgeous. I don't know why she's talking in the background for because you can't hear. Tim says stayed there many's a time. It's stunning. Thinking the same thing myself. Well, our Wendy says, let's carry on.
Room category fifth.
Hold on. Hold on. It's not lovely. Look at them lovely chairs now.
Room category sixth.
Oh, I missed the bath there.
Room category seventh.
Look at that. It's not lovely. Sam says toilet, yes. Bath, no. He could get in, but he wouldn't be able to get out again. And Tim says, I think the toilet's Sam's personal suite.
Room category eighth.
Look at that. Look at that. Now, that would do me. That would do me. I would have to change that red, though. I'm not very keen on that red, but that's not gorgeous. Tim, how much would it be to stay there a night? If it gives an idea, love, because I can't see her right and you can't hear her either.
Room category ninth.
There's the shower, as McGrogan used to call it. Look at this, not lovely.
Room category 10th.
Category 10.
Category 11.
Look at that.
Room category 12th.
It's weird. It's like weird work up the side of the bath there.
Next, to talk about amenities of this hotel, so you can see on the screen different categories of rooms are available.
Right, so just going to pause there because just going over the same photographs again. I know what your woman's doing there, but that gives you an idea of where we're staying. I'm waiting for our Tim to give us an estimated price per night. If you can, our Tim. Now, what do we say? What's next? What the hell's that there? Will says, I can't see much. This whiskey is going to my head. Now I'm wearing a kilt. It's desperate. Right, so off we go again. We're back in the coach again. The next day has arrived. We're all refreshed, well, sort of. And now we are going to. I think our Tim's popped out again there. We are now going to no underwear on Simpson. Will says with his kilt. Well, you like a bit of air around it. Right, so we're now heading into our town centre. Let's hope there isn't any window. No, we'll be seeing everything. 50 quid a night. Sam says, I don't think so, Sam. You see some of them rooms in there, dear? I think our Tim's popped out there, waiting for him to get us a price, so maybe he's whipping it up. So let's go in the air and have a bit of a juke round there. And there's another one after this, which takes us to a different part. So let's have a look at her. What? Hold on. I thought that was. Hang on, get this off first. Hang on. Right, here we go. Try again. Hold on. Just that's Carrickfergus shirt. Hang on a minute. And you had messed this up. Where are we now? Yes, it's there. Sorry about that. Here we go.
Made the drive from Loch Doon to the northernmost point of the Southwest Coastal 300, and that is the Scottish town of Ayr. I'm currently on the beach and I'm hoping to do a little bit of exploring in this area and then head into the city centre to take a proper look around.
By the way, in case you didn't see that, quick update there, £93 a night for a double room.
People have been flocking to this beach for hundreds of years, but it was in 1840 when the Glasgow to Ayr railway line was installed that this place really took off on the tourism front. And that's because people, for the first time from right the way across South Scotland, could get here really easily. And there's a reason, of course, why they wanted to get here, and that's because this is one of Scotland's best beaches. It is, as far as I can see, just this beautiful golden sand. You can hopefully see that there is a peninsula on either side of this large kind of bay area, and then straight ahead you can just about make out the shadow of the Isle of Arran. It is an incredible area, no doubt about it, so I'm going to take a quick look around, and then after that I'm going to get back in the car and drive into the city centre.
Isn't that lovely?
I've made it to the city centre. There is a pedestrian zone in force here, and it looks like I've found the high street. I have read that Ayr is a very historic town. Lots of old buildings, lots of things to see. So I think the plan is I'm going to take a stroll down the high street here, and I'm heading for the Wallace Tower, which I believe is straight ahead. A good old-fashioned traditional Scottish pub.
Isn't that lovely? There's the pub.
Population of Ayr, by the way, is nearly 50,000. It is the 14th largest settlement in Scotland, and it was previously a very, very popular harbour town. I'm not sure if I'll get to see the harbour, but in the past it used to deal with hundreds and hundreds of boats every day. Just over the other side of the road is the Wallace Tower. It was built in 1823 to honour William Wallace. It is a neo-Gothic design and stands at 113 feet high. Continuing on, I have read that Ayr is a river town, so I'm going to try and find the river and some of the famous bridges, I think. Well, I'm very proud of myself. Not only have I managed to find the River Aire, which splits the town of Aire in two, I've also found the old Bridge of Aire. This is a bridge that dates back to the 1400s. It's an old stone bridge that crosses the river, and it actually replaces an even older bridge that used to exist in this spot, that it was made of wood, and I'm guessing that probably burnt down at some point. The views from up here on the bridge are pretty good. An old church there signifying that the time is 8 o'clock. There's the new bridge that carries traffic. Night sky there behind, clouds up above the row of houses on the riverbank. It's a lovely area. I just wish I'd have got here during the day. And then out in this direction, looks like a train crossing the bridge further up. And then some flats, some tower flats in the distance there. Part of New Aire, I would imagine. Okay, I think I've explored the south of the river so far. I'm gonna just cross the bridge here and have a quick look at the north of the river. And then I think I'll walk back across the new bridge and then go and find something to eat. I will be taking you back to my hotel, by the way, after this clip.
Well, you calm yourself down. He's taking you back to his hotel.
Okay, it is dinner time.
Oh, look at that.
Car, and once I've eaten this...
Look at that, Will. Look at that, Will, being in you. Ricky's laughing.
I go and find the hotel. Oh boy, that burger was good. The Blue Lagoon from the high street of Aire.
He said the blue lagoon, not the blue balloon or the blue oyster club, by the way.
Definitely recommended. It was a great burger. I have made my way just to the north of the town now, at a place called the Racecourse, and I have checked into my accommodation for the night, the Premier Inn, and I'm going to give you a quick tour of the room before I tell you how much it is and what I'm doing tomorrow. Little sofa bed there. I'm not sure what the view's like at the moment. You can't see much out of there at all. And a desk with room service, you can see if you want it. A heater, that's all good. A kettle, and it's going to be good to get some teas and coffees tomorrow morning. My luggage there in the corner. Nice little compact shower room, as it is. There we go. It is all good. This room, by the way, does not come with a breakfast. I think Wi-Fi you have to pay for after a certain amount of time, and there is free parking outside, which is important when you're doing a road trip. All of that, this room, £38 a night, booked in advance. I'm
booked in advance, £38 a night. Well, it says the room service, there's room for two in that shower. Well, you're getting worse. Oh, by the way, just before I continue on here, Tim says there is an amazing steakhouse in there called the Drunken Coo. Large servings and great price. Don't talk about well I got that, Tim. Ricky says cheap enough. 38 quid. That's Premier Inn, you see. Carrie says at least the parking is free, even if you have to pay for everything else. I know. 38 quid's all right. Like,
might add, you always get the best deals when you book in advance, but £38 a night, I think, is a bargain. Right, I am going to get a good night's sleep. I wish I had have had a little bit more time in Aire today. It looked like a really cool city. I could have done with a few more hours just to explore a little bit deeper into the history and the culture of the city. That would have been good, but it wasn't to be. Hopefully I gave you a good view of the city itself and a little introduction, I guess you could say. Tomorrow I am back on the Southwest Coastal 300. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be the first section that I've driven that is by the coastline. I'm going to be driving essentially from Aire down to Stranraer, which is all the way down in the...
Well, we'll leave him there because if he's going to Stranraer, you're not staying there very long because there's frig all in it. Will says, get that hat off you. That's desperate. Right, last video of the night. last video of tonight. We give you a good view. Well, carry some courage in him. Right, this is the last video of tonight, and it's that guy again that our well fancies. And I think this is the Robert Burns Centre. So this is the last video of the evening. So here we go.
From the Southwest Coastal 300. Today I'm starting off in the village of Alloway, close to Ayr, and I'm here because this is the birthplace of Robert Burns, who is Scotland's national poet. Behind me you can see is the Burns Museum. The area that I'm in has lots of buildings and places associated with the man himself. The weather's nice, the sun's shining, so I'm going to take a stroll around and see what I can find. Map of Old Alloway. So this is a great little illustration of all the various things you can see in regards to landmarks associated with Robert Burns. And I think what I'm going to do, I am here at the moment near the Burns Museum, which is just behind me. I think what I'm going to do is take a walk along the Poet's Path up towards Burns Cottage where he was born. I'll take a walk back again and then past the church towards the monument, the Brigadoon, and then back to the car park.
Beautiful place.
Turns out the Poet's Path is fairly easy to find. It's straight opposite the museum, and along the path is a number of sculptures and monuments that are dedicated to Robert Burns and his work. One of which is a poem he wrote called Tam O'Shanter, which tells the story of Tam, who in his drunken state one night, I guess he'd been at the taverns and bars later than he should have been, he was walking home.
Well, is that you? That looks like you, Will.
And stumbled upon a party involving witches, and he watches from afar. In his drunken state, he calls out to the witches, and they end up chasing him towards a bridge which is close by the Brigadoon. They cannot cross the Brigadoon, but he can. I'll be visiting the bridge a little bit later on in my walk, so we'll be able to check that out a bit later. But for now, here is the Poet's Path.
By the way, folks, just stop there for a minute. Tim says all these Robert Burns' places are free to enter. So there you go. Thank you, Tim.
Just walking through the centre now of Alloway Village. Looks like a lovely little place. Lots of stone houses and old cottages lining both sides of the street. There's a little village post office right there in the centre as well, along with a convenience store. The population here is around 4,000 people, and I am getting closer now to Robert Burns' house.
Beautiful place.
I've made it now to the Robert Burns cottage. There is a car park here and a visitor centre. You can actually go in and have a look at the cottage from the inside. I'm not going to do that today. I'm just going to wander around the outside. This cottage was the birthplace of Robert Burns on the 25th of January 1759. It was built by his father 2 years prior to that out of mud and clay. Robert Burns lived here until he was 7 years old, at which point they moved to a house a couple of miles away. It is interesting to know that back in those days, as many other families did, they lived alongside their farmyard animals all under the one roof. When they moved out, they sold the cottage to the Incorporation of Shoemakers, and they leased it out as an ale house. These days, as I said before, you can enter the cottage by visiting the museum section. You can see the entrance just over there. Adults are £11.50. The old kirk, or the old church. There is a gate here. I'm not even sure if it is... Ah, yes, there we go. It is open. I was thinking there it may be locked. Close that behind me. And there we go. Look at that. That looks incredible. There was a church here dating back to the 1200s, but this one is believed to have been built in the 1500s. It is ruined, by the way, so we'll have a closer look at it in a second. But it was believed to have been ruined when Robert Burns was growing up, and this is the inspiration for a lot of his spooky, ghost-filled stories and poems. Wow, look at that. And just in the foreground here actually is William Burns' gravestone. So that is Robert's father. There's a little plaque here. This is the grave of Robert Burns' father, William. Robert wrote the lines on the back of the stone. Okay, let's have a quick look. It's just starting to rain again. There we go. I won't read all of that, but if you want to check it out, then pause the video. Interesting stuff. Some super old graves here. Let's go and have a look at that church. I'll see if I can...
I love going around graveyards. It doesn't sound very good, but I do think they're very interesting.
Show you inside. Although I'm not sure you can actually get inside, but it is fascinating seeing these really old structures. In fact, if I come over here, you can see what I mean by the fact that it's ruined. So at the front there, the wall still stands. There's even a bell up there, which is incredible. But the rest of the roof has gone. Only the stone structure remains. Let's have a quick poke inside. There we go. Just around the back of the church now. If you are in the village, definitely come to this church. It is really, really interesting. Some old graves here. Let's see how far they go back. Someone here died 1852, so what's that, about 170 years ago getting on. Maybe some even older graves around here as well. As said, this is the back of the church now. There we go. See that wall still standing. And then just over here, there's a dog. There's someone's garden, I think, through there. But there is, look at the size of this one. That is one heck of a memorial. Must be someone important buried there, erected to the memory of Lieutenant Ben John Hughes from Bulkisock, who died at the Mount Charles. Wow. Looks like you can actually... Probably shouldn't, but let's just...
Oh no, I wouldn't go in there.
Oh wow, that is really heavy. That is really heavy.
Oh.
And yeah, you can actually see inside. I'm guessing his remains were scattered in here perhaps, or he is buried underneath. I don't know how it works. I've never seen the inside of one of these before. I've seen plenty of them in different graveyards as I've travelled around Europe. But that is just fascinating. Let me close that door again if I can. There we go. Let's close that a little bit more. There we are. Okay, and it is starting to rain a bit heavier now, so I think I'm going to head off to my next stop.
Not long to go, folks.
The rain has really started coming down hard, but I'm going to try and continue the tour nonetheless. Finding this really interesting, learning about Robert Burns and his life and his poetry. I am now at the Burns Monument and Gardens. So under the guise of an umbrella, trying to stay dry. Let's see if we can go inside and have a look. Here we go, Burns Monument, erected 1820 to 1822. Original statues of Tam O'Shanter and Souter Johnny. Here we go.
All right, right.
There is nobody on the gate.
Never wonder. It's
And as I
pissing
come
there.
through, oh wow, that's a lot more grand than I thought. Wow, I did not expect to see a piece of Greek architecture here in Ayrshire. Let me just step over here a little bit and I'll try and tell you. I can keep under the umbrella here. I'll tell you a little bit about it. So it has a triangular base and the three sides of the triangle face the three different areas of Ayrshire. At the top there you can see the Greek pillars. There's 9 of those. Move the umbrella out the way. The 9 Greek pillars represent the 9 muses of Greek mythology. How about that? And then around the monument are lots of other smaller little monuments. Nice bench there. It is a garden, as I said, as well, so it isn't just the statue, and actually looks like the door is open, you can get inside.
Oh, here we go, we're getting in again. Oh.
Crazy Scottish weather. Okay, let's have a look in here. I am echoing a lot. There is a sign here with a little bit of information on it. It is a spectacular place, no doubt about it. Look at that, a glass dome up there. And a very modest sized bust of the man himself, Robert Burns.
Well, Millen says
He was
a
born, as I said, in 1759, died in 1796. At the age of just 37, he died of rheumatic fever. I am going to head up here.
Oh, where am I going now?
Interestingly enough, there we go, the echoing stopped. Interestingly enough, the last of Robert Burns' children was born during his funeral service, or on the day of his funeral. We're going to go back out into the elements, so I think I'm going to put the umbrella back up again. Looking up, I'm still under cover, so I'll refrain from using my umbrella for the time being, but there's that dome. What
There's
an
the
epic
dome, Will.
memorial. There we go, there is a walkway that you can just stroll around. And let's have a look at some of the views. By the way, I must say, although Robert Burns wrote many, many poems, one of the most famous that he wrote that was turned into a song, Auld Lang Syne. Everybody must know that one, I would have thought. There we go, there's the memorial garden below me. Brigadoon over there. Some of the beautiful Ayrshire countryside. I think that's the sea out there.
When chapel billies leave the street, and drouthy neighbours meet, as market days are wearing late and folk begin to tack the gate, while we sit boozing at the nappy and getting fou and unca happy, we think on the land Scots miles, the mosses, water, slaps and stiles lie between us and our hame, where sits our sulky, sullen dame, gathering her brows like gathering storm, nursing her wrath to keep it warm.
And I have made it down as the rain continues pouring to the Brigadoon. Here we go, looks like a spectacular bridge. Let's go and take a walk across it and I'll tell you about it as we go. It is believed to have been built in the 15th century by someone called James Kennedy. And in the 16th century, it was described as ruined, which is no surprise. It has been repaired many times over the centuries. Down there is the River Doon. As I said, the bridge is called Brigadoon, which translated to English means bridge over the River Doon. Quite a straightforward one. Over in this other direction, Oh look, is that an extension of the memorial garden down there, I wonder? Or is that someone's private garden? Probably the latter, based on that house in the distance there. Over there is the new bridge as well, so all traffic now goes over the new bridge, and it's got a very steep hump, this one has.
Oh, sure.
Just reading up, it has a span of 72 feet and it has a rise of 26 feet. So it has a very sharp rise here in the centre, but it is definitely a cool place to be standing. What a great couple of hours here in Alloway, having a look at Robert Burns and the history. One more thing to show you that isn't related to Robert Burns, but it is related to the road trip I'm on, and I'll see you there in just a couple of seconds.
It's the last bit, folks. Oh, well, thinks he's in the 12th.
Just a few miles outside of Alloway is the beach. It's literally taken me 6 minutes to get here in a car, and I'm right next to the magnificent Greenham Castle, which dates back to around about the 12th century, but this tower building, which is all that's left of the castle now, sadly, was built in around about the 15th and 16th century, sometime around then. It is overlooking the sea. The Isle of Arran is out there way in the distance. You can see these beautiful beaches down here, and if I turn the other way, you can make out the town of Ayr, which I was looking around yesterday. It is a fantastic place to be. We are high up on a sea cliff, and this is where I'm going to end the video. I know it's not much to do with Robert Burns, but I wanted to tell you that I am on a Southwest Coastal 300 road trip around the southwest of Scotland, and I'm hoping to start the next video by driving from Alloway to Stranraer, and we'll see what we find along the route. I'll say thank you very much for watching my Robert Burns and Alloway video. Hopefully you found it as interesting as I did, and I will leave you with one final shot of this magnificent beach and the town of Ayr in the distance. I will see you hopefully in the next video.
Okay, folks, just cut it there. Just to let you know, all these people on YouTube make these videos themselves, and they're absolutely stunning, and my hat is off to them. What I'm going to do is, folks, all the videos, the last two videos, the one with the Lauren and everybody as well, I will put the link to the YouTube channels in the description of tonight's events on YouTube and on Facebook, so you can go and follow up on the journeys, because they are absolutely stunning. Now, Carrie says, did our Tim say all the wedding photos are done in Brigadoon? Is that before or after everyone goes mental after burning Loch Lomond? He did actually say that. He says, I'll just, because Tim's given us a lot of information here, so I'm just going to go over it very quickly. He says there is also there's also the heads of Ayr Farm and Park, an amazing day out, feeding all the animals, restaurant, stunning views, fairground, a museum at $16.50 for adults and £8 for kids, including after school as well. As Carrie just asked there, yes, all the wedding photographs are took on the Brigadoon. So there you go. He also turned around and says, I can just imagine Will playing the flute and Sam with Sam on the toilet. And Will says, that's me there in the nude. Lovely. Desperate. Right, so that's the end of our coach trip. We're all heading home. We're all heading home. Will's head's, I don't know where, he's drooping. So he is, and everybody's exhausted. We're heading back. We're back in the boat, and we're heading back to glorious Belfast and Lisburn. So, Tim, I just want to say thank you so much for all the information that you've given us there, because we wouldn't have knew half of that. I just want to say thank you very much on behalf of everybody in the Chatterhouse there, Tim. Tim, I'm being nice to you or something wrong. Right, okay. Let's go to something. Well, Millen says he's booking into a bag. Lovely. And Tim says Len in the nude playing his flute. Lovely. Right, just give me 2 seconds, folks. Literally 2 seconds. Hold on. Kai says, thank you for all the information. Tim, greatly appreciate it. And Tim says, you're very welcome to come back again. Right, just give me 2 seconds. And I'm back. Okay. Right, at the start of the night, I did tell you that we are going to draw our doodad tonight, the Lucky Square game. We see the numbers all flat up again. So tonight, and you know something? There's no battered box. That didn't sound very good. There's no battered Amazon box. If anyone likes BPM, they are bringing out a new one. And Iron Brew is bringing out a winter one. Oh, there you are. Jarwell's doing a wee bit of advertisement. Johnny Goheen says, I want sure to attempt to say the address to Haggett with the words, I wouldn't bloody think so, Johnny. I have seen you in, but I forgot to say hello. You're very welcome. Right, so we're going to do the draw for the mystery prize. Now, this was the Lucky Box game, the Lucky Square game. In the end, to start off with, there's nothing wrong with the box. That's desperate. We actually started off with 50 boxes, but we actually sold 80 in the end. So that's another £80 into the pot. But there's no battered Amazon box tonight. No. No battered Amazon box. You hopefully will hear me in the background. Hold on now. I'm going to attempt something that I have never ever did before, so here we go. Now we'll get this video off first. What do we say now? And yes, we'll go wrong. Right, and then what we're going to do is, now how do I get this up? Right, let's see. At the stage. Right. Okay. And then I'm going to go there. Now you mightn't be able to see this very well, but this is our wheel. Love the coach trip. I'll talk about that in a minute. This is our wheel. Now, you mightn't see the numbers on it because it is very small, right? But when the winner is picked randomly, the big number will appear on the thing. It says winner number 69 and all that there. So as I say, there was 80 boxes, actually 80 squares purchased in the end. The original plan, there was only going to be 50. Well, it says fancy way. Johnny Goheen says the box was... Johnny, I'm not reading that out. So here we go. I've got the list in front of me here, whose numbers is whose. So I'm now going to spin the wheel. I have no say over this. I have no control over this, as you can see. So as RuPaul says, good luck and don't fuck it up. So here we go. Spin the wheel. Stop the wheel. There we go. Number 55. And guess who is number 55? Ready? The winner is our Ricky. Hang on a minute. Did I get my name in here? Yes. The winner is our Ricky. Now, nobody knows what the prize is. We actually figured about with the prize, so we did. And Ricky, hang on. First of all, Ricky had his fingers crossed. And then he goes, you! Carrie's going, Rick! Temporary says, Ricky, you lucky bastard. Ricky says, what is it? Okay. It's a night out with me, Ricky. It's a night out with me, Lillian. No, I'm joking you. Right, okay. Now, we were donated this prize at the last minute. Michelle McGrogan says, well done, Ricky. Everybody's saying, Ricky, you lucky duck. Sam says, well done, mate. And Ricky says, oh, yes. Right, okay. I'm going to keep the number up there in honor of our Ricky. Ricky, we were donated this by a supermarket chain in Northern Ireland. This can be used in Northern Ireland only. And it's actually been increased a wee bit now. So, Ricky, Ricky, you have won not 20. Hang on. It's stuck together, Ricky. You heard that before. Not 40. Hold on. I'm building up to it here. Not 20. Not 40. Hold on. Hold on. But £50, Ricky, of Lidl's, Lidl's, and Lidl's supermarket vouchers. Guys, Jesus. So our Ricky has won 50 quid's worth of Lidl's, Lidl's, and Lidl's supermarket vouchers. There is no expiry on these, so there's not. Hang on, they're sticking together, Ricky. And also, just to let you know, unfortunately, Ricky, because they were donated, you can buy anything in the store. Unfortunately, you can't buy alcohol. Now, with the two sticking together, with the two £20 ones, you can't buy alcohol, but with the £10 one, you can. Don't even go there. I don't know why. So, congratulations to Ricky, who has won 50 quid of Lidl's, Lidl's, and Lidl's voucher. And they came courtesy of Lidl Northern Ireland. That's why we couldn't include anybody on the mainland for these, because these can only be spent in UK, in Northern Ireland, sorry. £50 of Lidl vouchers, and Lillian will shoplift another 50 for you, Tim says. So, Ricky, they're here for you. So they are. You can keep them for Christmas and get your Christmas messages. You can do whatever you wish with them. But thank you so much for your support. And also to everybody else as well. Thank you so much. So basically, hang on now. Hang on. Hold on. Just give me 2 seconds. Work with Stuart here. Right. So that brings our grand total for the raffle and also the Lucky Square game, £712. Well done, Chatterhouse. That's all I'm going to say. Here's looking at my pool pics. Well, says. So there you go, folks. Thank you so much for your support. Just to let you know, the main appeal starts on Saturday. This is when we can drop off some physical stuff. And it's going to be, I'm going to come on maybe before Saturday to tell you all about it. Just to let you know, also on Friday night, Aunty Lillian is on the Chatterhouse. She is doing a Halloween quiz. It might necessarily be about Halloween, but there might be a few Halloween questions put in there. And that's at 7:30 on Friday night. Aunty Lillian's Halloween quiz. Carrie says, unreal fundraising so far, folks. Absolutely. And Ricky, Tim's giving Ricky a round of applause, and Tim's giving everybody a round of applause. And Ricky says, well done, everyone. So, like, folks, thanks very much for joining me tonight. I hope you enjoyed that wee coach trip. I know it was a wee bit longer than normal. I do hope we'll send you a video. Will says, well, to tell everybody. Yes, I might do another one of these coach trips again. Phyllis is going home now. Okay, so, but what I want to go do is I want to go further down into England as well. I want to go to Stonehenge and places like that and look at those because I actually find them quite interesting myself. So look out for Coach Trip Part 4, maybe in a month's time. Maybe we'll do a pre-Christmas one or something. And Tim says, love the Stuart. Thank you for visiting, he says to everybody. Well, listen, folks, Carrie says, I don't know if I'll be in on Friday. We're trick-or-treating with the Wayans. Absolutely, Carrie. Carrie says, night-night. Everyone sees all again. And Sam says, good night. Okay, folks, good night. Look after yourselves. All the TikTok crowd that's in Aunty Lillian is live tomorrow night on TikTok at 7:30. Tomorrow night on TikTok. That's 7:30 tomorrow night. In the spirit of Aunty Lillian and the spirit of everybody, good night. Spirit of RuPaul, good night. And Lillian, get it up your way, you're young. Right, I'll see you all later. Night night. Look after yourselves and take care. Good night.